Hello everybody and welcome back to artofdino.com via Save Earth, and this time we're going to try and save Earth from communism, just like Hoover warned us about in the CIA files, the CIA reading room from February 8th, 1966. I was looking up something completely different and came across this little tiny blurb from the FBI Law Enforcement Bulletin, issued in February 1st, 1966, with a message from the director John Edgar Hoover in 1966 again, so 59 years ago, almost 60 years ago. And listen to the way they describe communism, because it seems as if we are finally about to dodge the bullet, and we finally have a leader that's willing to combat that. And although they don't necessarily call it communism, they call it everything else, and a rose by any other name is still just as sweet or just as stanky in this situation. But again, very interesting how they word this in the 60s, and just think about how it's taken us this long to finally call it out and start to put an end to it and reverse the course of history. It's taken so many presidents who have done nothing and just steered it in the wrong direction, so many elements who have just been paid out and let America get railroaded by the communists, and so much more. So take a look at this. Very significant and very purposeful as of now in America. So here we go. Message from the director, J. Edgar Hoover. He says, the American college student today, 66, is being subjected to a bewildering and dangerous conspiracy, perhaps unlike any social challenge ever before encountered by our youth. So this works perfectly for 1966, works almost even better for 2024 and all the years preceding. On many campuses, he faces a turbulence built on unrestrained individualism, repulsive dress and speech, outright obscenity, disdain for moral and spiritual values, and disrespect for law and order. And I could just show pictures of pop culture for the last 20 years, but I don't even want to look at them anymore or anything. But imagine that. So I stuck to AI today instead of just putting pictures of just weirdos up. So just you've all seen them, so keep that all in mind. So outright obscenity, disdain for moral and spiritual values, and disrespect for law and order. Like shut down the police, all that kind of stuff. Remember that? How it's accelerated from 66 to the present, and now it's finally being taken down, I hope. Dear God. This movement, commonly referred to as the New Left, in quotes, yikes, is complex in its deceitful absurdity and characterized by its lack of common sense. Boom. Trump called that out a big time. We've all been calling that out big time. It just never has made sense to people that have common sense. None of that agenda has been anything but abnormal. So here we go. Fortunately, a high percentage of the more than 3 million full-time college students are dedicated, hardworking, and serious-minded young people. However, their good deeds and achievements are greatly overshadowed by those who are doing a tremendous amount of talking, but very little thinking. Still, right on the money. Much of this turmoil has been connected with a feigned concern for the vital rights of free speech, dissent, and petition. See, now it's gone from the campus to the online world and the real world. Hardcore fanatics have used these basic rights of our democratic society to distort the issues and betray the public. However, millions of Americans who know from experience that freedom and rights also mean duties and responsibilities are becoming alarmed over the anarchistic and seditious ring of these campus disturbances, and I'll add atheistic as well. They know liberty and justice are not possible without law and order, and those people have come into power, finally. The Communist Party USA, as well as other subversive groups, is jubilant over these new rebellious activities. Yeah, look at the Democrats. They loved what their party did for so long. Not anymore, though, now that the gig is up. The unvarnished truth is that the communist conspiracy is seizing this insurrectionary climate to captivate the thinking of rebellious-minded youth and coax them into the communist movement itself, or at least agitate them into serving the communist cause. Immigrants, illegal immigrants, and anarchists, Antifa, boom. All of these people, deluded by social media campaigns, by culture, disgust, by Netflix, by all these despicable politicians, and more, who are all on their last throes. This is being accomplished primarily by a two-pronged offensive, a much publicized college speaking program and the campus-oriented communist W.E.B. Du Bois clubs of America. Therefore, the communist influence is cleverly injected into civil disobedience and reprisals against our economic, political, and social system, like all of the movements that you've seen in the last 20 years. Every single one of those movements that was put out by the leftist communists was all part of this. Advance the communist mentality without calling it that. Call it socialism. Call it all this stuff. The social media generation will love that term, and they fell for it, and they were getting duped by many teachers, and so now steps are being taken to fix the education system and get rid of all this stuff, and culture especially. Dear God, culture has never been so thrashed as in the past 20 plus years of America, so it needs some resurrecting and reinvigorating. Here we go. There are those who scoff at the significance of these student flare-ups, but let us make no mistake. The Communist Party does not consider them insignificant. The participants of the New Left are part of the 100,000 State of Mind members Gus Hall, the party's general secretary, refers to when he talks of party strength. He recently stated the party is experiencing the greatest upsurge in its history, with a 1 to 2,000 increase in membership in the last year, which seems pretty pathetic back then, but that thing has gone exponentially more and more spreading until now. Now it's going to decline at a faster rate than ever before. For the first time since 1959, the party plans a national convention this spring. We can be sure that high on the agenda will be strategy and plans to win the New Left and other new members. A communist student writing in an official party organ recently stated, "There is no question but that the New Left will be won." Lastly, thus the communist intentions are abundantly clear. We have already seen the effects of some of their stepped-up activities, and I firmly believe a vast majority of the American public is disgusted and sickened by such social orgies. I sure as hell am. One recourse is to support and encourage the million of youth who refuse to swallow the communist bait. That's what Save Earth is all about. The artists, the ones that didn't fall for this nonsense, and the ones that did. We're going to make you all, we're just going to help guide you all towards a better state of mind. That is the goal. And another is to let it be known far and wide that we do not intend to stand idly by and let demagogues make a mockery of our laws and demolish the foundation of our republic. So, boom. J. Edgar Hoover, who you always hear mixed things about if you didn't grow up during his time, you know, and obviously from the media, who does not like anyone who's anti-communist, and that's probably why they did whatever they did to him. But again, I don't know about that. I'm not stepping into that. I'm just going into communism, which I despise and can't wait to see completely removed from American culture and society forever. And I pray that now is the time that we can do that, and we all need to do steps in the right direction to get rid of this mentality forever, because it is not a good one for humanity. It's not good for America. It doesn't belong here. It never will. It doesn't really belong anywhere. It's a delusion that people, weak-minded people, can be convinced will help them get some power and gain some control in a world where God knows what the the actual situation is in the hierarchy of humanity. But we all need to be on the same equal foot, and this does not put us there. So in the fight for freedom, law and order, we need all these things that make a country stable, and I hope that is the direction we are all headed. And communism's direction is going to go straight down to HE double hockey sticks with these demons who will never be in politics again, and they can just practice it all they want by themselves, underground, hidden, wherever, in prisons. That's fine. But out of the public eye, out of the schools is an absolute must, and especially out of the culture. So I hope you all enjoyed this little glimpse from 60 years ago, and bless you all as we fix this nation and world. So thank you all from artofdino.com and saveearth.us.